can own real estate? Only Filipino citizens. But there are exceptions. Number one exception is former Filipino. Even those who have become foreign citizens and no longer a Filipino, but as long as they are natural born citizens of the Philippines, can still own land here in the Philippines, but with limitations. What are the limitations? Residential, which is 1,000 square meter, urban, that means city, and 1 hectare rural. If for business, that's 5,000 urban and 3 hectares rural. Second exception is corporations, 60% Filipino and 40% foreigners. There are foreigners who put up a corporation here in order to own land, but they should ensure that 60% share is owned by Filipino. Third exception is interest of 40% in a condominium project. What does this mean? This means that only 40% of the inventory for sale of a given condo project can be sold to foreigners. 60% should be for Filipinos. And the fourth exception is acquisition through hereditary succession. If, for example, the spouse of a foreigner is a Filipino here in the Philippines, if the Filipino spouse died, the foreigner can already own the property by hereditary succession. And number 5 is acquisition before the 1935 Constitution. This law was promulgated in 1935 Constitution. Therefore, acquisition before that date is exempted. In other words, those pure foreigners who own land before 1935 can still own land on the property that they bought before. Basic ownership law. The basic ownership law is absolute community property or conjugal. This means that the property should be owned by both spouses if both are Filipino citizens. That is why, as a real estate practitioner, either salesperson or broker, you should ensure that the contract of sale, the deed of absolute sale, as well as the title, should start with the word spouses, and then their full name, including middle name. But if one of the spouses is a foreigner, what should be written? It should be Filipino name married to, which is the name of the foreigner. Even if both are Filipinos, the phrase Filipino name married to another Filipino can still be used if the client prefers to be that way. This would mean that the name written is the legal owner, and that the other spouse, being married, can just contest his equal ownership later on if there is any dispute. A married individual cannot buy any property without writing the name of his or her spouse in the contract or any document of ownership. We actually had clients before who got separated from their spouses, but sad to say, they cannot buy real estate properties on their name alone. There are those who declare that they are single, but do not allow that to happen. Advise them that it's very risky. That's falsification of documents. That can be allowed only when there is annulment of marriage or legal separation.